Day, beautiful people. Hello. I know most of y'all are at work, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this live. It's a collective reading for 2023. I pulled some cards for myself the other day and then was journaling and then started writing some collective messages, pulled some cards. So I'm going to, first of all, give you guys like a little debrief of all of the areas that I looked into, and then I'll go deeper into them. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a beautiful week. I know most of y'all are going back to work. So I looked into money, family, spirituality, and then creatively, the things that you're going to be creating this year. And for money, you got the Seven of Swords for the collective. Seven of Swords often talks about deception, scams, but also the question that I asked is, are we leaving money on the table? So that might be a theme for 2023. Did you leave money on the table, or sorry, I wrote notes already. Did you leave money on the table, or you guys are picking up and leaving the table when you feel like the funds aren't looking right? Okay. And then for family, we got the Sun card, which tells me fertility, vitality. If you're not thinking, I feel like the thing I heard is people might have pregnancy scares, right? Because the sun is always, we got the baby there, right? Or overall, just creating new beginnings, new family structures, new family rituals, new love ethics, right? Bell hooks, new love ethics within the household, right? Some of us are breaking those sort of disharmonious practices within the family. So I see a lot of beautiful energy around family, fertility, vitality, new family rituals, new love ethics. And then spiritually, this gave me pause. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This gave me pause. We've got the reversed world. Okay? World in the upright, beautiful, amazing. World in the reverse feels like a cup being tipped over, right? And then we got it also with the Moon card. So I feel like there's this sort of disillusionment about where you are in the world. Like, what is my place here? I feel like you guys are sort of questioning yourself unnecessarily questioning yourself, questioning your place in this life. So we'll get deeper into that. We also, with that energy, got the Three of Swords. Okay, there's just some, okay, we're gonna get it together though. The world showed up, and so that's beautiful, right? The fact that it showed up in the reverse means that it's like you're almost finished with the cycle, but you almost don't see how close you are to the finish line, if that makes sense. So we'll get into that. And then creatively, the things that we're gonna produce this year, like maybe what we'll sort of see within music, film, TV, or how you will be feeling as you create and produce at work or personal projects. Six of Wands. Love Six of Wands energy, getting credit where credit is due. And then we also got the Hanged Man. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of, just like life, peaks and valleys, right? Like you're going to have these like beautiful moments where you're like, oh my God, I get it. I know who I am. I know what I want to create, or I'm getting the recognition that I think I deserve. And then we kind of go into this Hanged Man energy, this sort of limbo, pause, but it's always on purpose. So it's nothing to kind of fret about, but just sort of be prepared for those peaks and valleys. All right, so that's a little debrief. I took notes because I am someone who also channels when I write. I think that sometimes we think that doing verbal tarot readings or any sort of messaging has to happen verbally, but I'm somebody who likes to write first, and then things sort of make sense to me in that realm. So I just want to invite you all to tap into your intuition in any way that feels right for you. And I'm a writer, so it makes sense for me. Let me move this water. All right, deep breaths, everybody. As we tune into our higher selves, our soul family, the ones who are here to guide, inspire, and speak to us, Spirit, and all of my beautiful angels, help me translate these messages of esoteric wisdom and let everybody hear what they most need to hear. Help me speak what needs to be heard. Ashe, ashe, ashe. All right, y'all. So let's get into money. Number one, Seven of Swords. All right. So immediately when I thought about this is don't leave money on the table. So he's picking up the swords, but then he left one behind, right? So it's like we might be sort of quickly leaving a situation, a business deal, a job, but don't leave money on the table. Make sure that you resolve that 401k. Make sure that you get your pension or something of that resort, or even making sure, like, if your job pays for something. Okay, my cousin was talking about this job here in Germany. They'll pay for you because it's at a university. They'll pay for a degree. So, like, girl, before you leave that job, make sure you get whatever you can out of that situation before up and leaving. There might be jobs. I had another friend. They said that they would pay for her certification. Right? So don't leave the job before you get the benefits. Okay? And then we've got the Queen of Wands. What am I trying to say? That this Queen of Wands, putting a little accent on this message. And the Queen of Wands is all about magnetism. She is all about magnetism. She uses all of her tools at her disposal, all of the things. She's very resourceful. That's what I wrote down. So the cardinal energy, there's even a cardinal bird up there. I know y'all can't see it, but it is a red cardinal energy, right? Aries, Cancer. What are the other cardinal symbols? I'm not an astrologist, okay? But Cancer and cardinal energy, right? Being the first one to do it. Being resourceful, not being afraid to go solo or think like a maverick, right? And so with this money, it's sort of like being resourceful with your money, being a little bit creative about what you can do with the money, proper investments. Excuse me. What else did I write down? Don't be afraid to leave the comfort to rebuild, right? So he's sort of leaving in the middle of the night, right? To go and do something. And it's like, well, why are you leaving the fire? It's like, I know this seems comfortable. I know that this seems safe, but there's something else. He's headed towards the mountains, towards another challenge, towards another initiation, towards another goal, and he's not afraid to leave. Now, on the other side of this, Seven of Swords, in the more like literal, that's what my intuition says, but more literally, Seven of Swords does always talk to us about scams, watching your assets, discernment, right? You're like, this don't feel right. And that's probably why he's leaving, right? Or somebody, the Seven of Swords, he could be the thief himself, right? Kind of coming in the middle of the night, coming and taking what's not his. So just be really careful with discernment. Not getting scammed on the internet, watching what you're putting your investments in. Don't be signing up for people's clubs and challenges and courses if you cannot find their some sort of reputable, you know what I'm saying? Because people puppet themselves or prop themselves as some sort of expert. But if you're an expert, then there's other information out there about you or work that you've been putting out for years that sort of just speak to that. And if they're new to that, they should say that they're new. That, hey, I just started doing this for a year, and not propping themselves up as some sort of industry expert. Because it's okay to speak and not be, that's all good. All right, so family, let's move on. Sun card. All right. So new families, new births, restructuring your family for good. All right. So for me, what I saw, and my friend kind of warned me too about fertility. She's like, I think you might have like a pregnancy scare. And then I saw this and I was like, okay, this is like confirmation. So Sun always talks about fertility, vitality, and that is further accented with the King of Wands. Okay, that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, those are very, vitality, that's what I wrote down. So for those of you who were like, oh, I wasn't trying to get pregnant, like you might have like a little oops or a little scare, or there might be some talk around restructuring your family if you're going to be moving in, combining households with somebody. It feels like things are going to be restructured. And the question that I had for you guys was, what new rules, traditions, rituals, and love ethics will you seed and nurture this year? All right, I'll say that again. What new rules, traditions, rituals, and love ethics will you seed and nurture this year? Because I feel like the sun is always talking about, because we always have like the naked child, right? And the tarot will tell you that means sort of like, I'm not ashamed, I'm not hiding anything, right? I come to you bare and open and willing. And so things are being made visible in the sun, right? Things come to light in the sun, right? The shadows are cast down, and we're able to really see things and people and our traditions for what they truly are. And so if we're not talking about you in a traditional family, like you giving birth to a child or adoption or any sort of thing like that, if you're just a single person, or if you're just sort of thinking about your entire lineage as a whole, I do think about family secrets coming to light, being made visible. And then again, I ask you, what new rules and love ethics do you want to seed and nurture this year? Because that starts with you, and it starts in your dating, right? It doesn't even have to be like an official partner. Or then when you guys do start dating, right? There's love ethics and rituals and rules that you guys put when you come into partnership with people that will then affect you creating a home life, when you're ready to do that. Okay? ¿Qué más? And then I'm looking in, we got the wheel here. That wheel that she's spinning from. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like generational. Like I feel like each of these spikes, spools, what are they called? I feel like each one of these are sort of like lineage branches. And they all come together, and we decide for ourselves what we're gonna weave. Okay, I already said, I'm repeating myself at this point. Okay, now spiritually, this is the one I'm really excited about. We got the World in the reverse. Love this deck, by the way. It's Spellcaster's Tarot. I've had it for years now. One of my first decks. A little bit beat up around the edges, but I love it. It's a little bit of a multicultural deck, so if you're sort of looking for that, there's like Asian characters, kind of Latino looking characters, you know what I mean? We got girl over here, they're not just white faces, so I really enjoy this deck. In the World card, we have this Black woman with her curls. All right, so the World in the reverse for spirituality. This, like I said, the World this feels like a sort of your connection to nature for me, and I feel like there's a disconnect spiritually. We're a little bit disconnected from nature. We're not really feeling the cycles. We're not tuning into the cycles, and so everything feels disruptive. I wrote down for a prayer, I think that I did today. I said, I am, what did I write? I change easily with the beauty, the chaos, and the turning seasons. I change easily with the beauty, with the chaos, and the turning seasons, right? And I feel like World in the reverse does not do that. It's feeling the disruption of everything. Like every little minor change is disrupting you. Every minor inconvenience is disrupting you. And we want to be in a more accepting, stable balance with the turning of the seasons, with the events of your life, right? And so we have that accented with the Moon card. And so again, this speaks about illusions, shadows, right? Where we have the sun. Now we have the moon in this sort of challenging position. Let's read what I wrote. I said delusion or questioning, doubting your intuition, right? This is the World card in the reverse. Doubt or shame prevents you from seeing how close you are to the end of a rough cycle, right? So your doubt, your shame, your anxiety, you're overly identifying with things that happened in the past, and it's making you unable to see how close you are to this. You're so close. It's just a little 180 and you're right there. You're right almost through the door. But then something happens. I don't know if you guys are getting triggered in a conversation. If something makes you doubt your intuition, where you're like, I really thought that this was, I was going to get this job, or I thought I was supposed to move, and now the funds aren't coming through. Something happens, or mentally something tells you that you're inadequate. And so that's why all of these things are happening to you. And so the medicine was 3 of Swords. I was like, okay, well, what should they do? And I was like, oh, okay. Now, some of you might say, well, that's not an answer. It just feels like I'm really getting real heart heavy in here. And what I heard was the advice was 3 of Swords. Show me where it hurts. Tell me where it hurts. Exactly. Right? Because something has triggered you. Something has made you feel inadequate, shameful, made you stop in your tracks because you're right there. Something made you stop in your tracks from entering this new cycle. And I think we need to name things for exactly what they are with this 3 of Swords. Tell me exactly where it hurts, because then you'll be set free, right? Look at this, like, beautiful energy, like, bah! It's almost like you opened up a valve, and now you're like, okay. I was holding my breath. Like, of course you were anxious when you're not breathing properly. Like, of course your head hurts. You're not breathing properly. Like, of course you're tense. You're not breathing properly. You're not breathing at all. Very shallow breaths create anxiety there. You're not getting enough oxygen to your brain. You're feeling overly excited. Even me, like, I feel like I'm racing through this reading, and I'm like, okay, Michelle, like, I'm trying to intentionally tell my tongue to go slower, right? And so there's a trouble with discernment. That's what I wrote down too. There's a trouble with discernment. There's a trouble with trusting our intuition. And that's where this moon card comes in. There's like all these shadows. You're like, I don't know what's what. I don't know what's what. You guys might be feeling this as a theme for these first 6 months. I don't know what's what. I don't know what's my intuition. And I don't know what's just, this isn't for me right now. And the question that I had for this card was, who told you you're not good enough? And that question actually came to me in a reading in 2020. Yeah, it was the year of the pandemic. I lost my job the Friday before I had a reading with my now Reiki master. She was a stranger to me at this point, and we were doing a reading. I just lost my job, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't have any money. I'm still living at home with my mom. And she was channeling my grandmother, and she said, who told you you're not good enough? Because I didn't. I never told you. So I don't know where you even got this story, this false story of inadequacy. I don't know. My grandmother was like, I don't know where you got that from. Who told you you're not good enough? And I know who that was now, right? In 2022. I knew then. But in 2022, like, I had to release myself from that story, because I am good enough. And so you might want to ask yourself, who told you weren't good enough? Because it sounds like it's an internal voice, but it may actually be an outside voice. Because children inherently, they feel entitled to everything, right? And this sort of, we get upset. We're like, you can't touch that. You can't just take things. Because they don't know any better. They're like, oh yeah, okay, the world is mine to explore, right? And so everything feels like it's theirs. And so they always feel good enough to go into a room, and they don't care who's already talking. And you know what I mean? They're going to laugh. They don't care that you're on a phone call. They're going to tug at your shoe, tug at your leg, and ask you questions, right? Because they feel entitled. And I think that this is a playful, a joyful, wondrous entitlement, not in this sort of negative way that we see entitlement. The next question that I had for you guys to help us get out of this disillusionment, this feeling of inadequacy, this inability to see that you are so close to walking into another cycle, what practice or circumstance will it take for you to complete this chapter? What practice, what ritual or circumstance will it take for you to complete this chapter? What will it take to get you from here to here? From almost this sort of stagnant, it feels like you guys are almost walking through a door, and then I really feel like somebody from your past, like, kind of, I hate the word triggered is just so overused, but they sort of like agitated you. They agitated you, and you want to go back into what you used to do, go back to what you used to say, revert to old unproductive means of healing. So what ritual do you need to put into place? What ritual have you abandoned that you now need to put in place so that you can so that you can get over this cycle? I'm glad it's resonating. Thank you. And so I did a practice today. I'll share it with you guys. I did a little ritual. I have a spirit guide who visited me in 2017. I know because I wrote it down. So you got to write down your significant dreams and tell at least one friend. Shailena knows about this character this spirit that came to me. I was leaving a castle. I was leaving. Like, I needed to get out. I was escaping. And I was running, and I was running. And I was almost about to go over a cliff, but he stopped me. And it's like a mythical creature. I'm not going to share it. But, and so he's somebody who I call on when I need protection and when I need good sight. Because he can see things. So I call on this spirit, and I did a ritual today where I called in all of my ancestors. I had my orange candle and my cinnamon honey tea, and I wrote down a prayer. You don't have to write it down if you don't want to, but I was like, grant me your sight. Grant me your sight so I can see beyond my fears and what is already known. Imbue me with your courage so that I can hit my target. Guide me to the roads that most need me so that I can meet the people and places. Whatever. That was the prayer. And I did it 8 times. Whatever. Do it 3 times, 4 times, whatever your lucky number is. And wrote a candle, meditated with some cards, and I'm going to try and do that at least once a month so that I can connect to him as an energy, so that I can really connect myself to his sight, to his courage, to the path, because he's somebody that helps me on my path, right? He made sure I didn't go over the cliff. He makes sure to protect me and that I don't go into danger. And so we need to go into these practices. We need to set up these rituals so that we know that we're at the end of a chapter, so that we know that we're not alone as we enter the next one. Ritual. Because rituals are systems, right? We talk about like systems, habit systems. Rituals are systems. They are you light the candle, you set the table, you mind the altar, you put out food, you make a beverage, you sing a hymn, you sing a chant, you announce a chant. Right? Those are all little steps so that you can get to an outcome. Rituals are systems. They're spiritual systems. And when you lean into those systems, it gets easier to tap into your intuition. It gets much more easier to hear. It gets more easier to accept because you have a ritual system that helps you accept, that helps you see, that helps you tap in, that helps you get silent, that helps you calm down. Rituals are systems. Work your systems, boo. Okay? And show me where it hurts. Show me exactly where it hurts. Say exactly where it hurts. Scream it out loud. Write it down. Something. But like, yes, there is going to be a little bit of a heavy heart. Yes. This is a heavy heart matter. But you can free yourself. Like I said, reversals aren't negative for those of you who do tarot. The fact that the energy even showed up is positive, right? 10 of Swords is something that you like to see in the negative because I always see that as like the swords leaving the person's back. But whenever we have a positive card, like the World card in the reverse, it tells me that you're so close. The energy is there. The energy of transformation of a cycle ending is right there. Also, maybe use some water. Also, always remember to use water in your rituals. Some form of tea, cup of water on the altar, clear. That helps with spiritual divination. Okay, Now, creatively, yay. All right, the work that we're going to put out, the things that we're going to produce, the people that we're going to work with, and what we might see collectively on a, like in TV and film, da da da. So we've got Six of Wands. This is about victory assured, right? Look at her getting her praise from her peers. She's got the Falcon, which is a divine messenger. She's in her power, okay? I'm seated. I'm sat, okay? I know exactly who I am. Like, she's so like, it's so absent of ego in my belief. I've arrived, you know? It's this I've arrived energy. And I worked my ass off to get here. Yes, I'm glad. I'm almost there. Yes, you're almost there. Almost there. And I'm almost there. Come on now, Disney Channel. Disney Channel. Disney, though. That was from Princess and the Frog, right? She sings that song. And I'm almost there. Come on, use that. Like, babe, I'll find spirit in any song. I'll do it. I'm about to play that song after this. It's such a good song because she talks about how she's almost there at her dream. I think she like bought the, you were singing that too. It's did she buy the restaurant, or she almost had the money for the restaurant? Oh, so good. All right. So, creatively, Six of Wands, getting credit where credit is due. This I've arrived energy. And then we've got the Hanged Man, which talks to us about being in this space of limbo, of being in the liminal space, of being just in between the light and the dark, in this sort of suspension. And so what I wrote down was, don't be defeated during the rise and fall of your victories, creative blocks, or moment of when the road looks destitute, when it looks abandoned. You're like, wait, where'd all the praise go? Where'd all the love go? So some of you guys might have like a viral moment, or you might like have like a bunch of streams. I just saw my girl Sade in here. You might have like a bunch of streams to Spotify or your account, or like all these views, and then nothing, and then suspension, and then this sort of like, well, I was waiting for this company to get back to me, or I was waiting for this deal to go through, and it's almost like they reached out and then it was dead, and it was like silence. Don't be defeated by that, because why? Then we had, and these all four came out. These two came out together, and then these two fell on my lap. Then we're followed by the Nine of Cups. And if you guys look at this, like 9, we're always talking about 10 being the end of a cycle, but doesn't this looks, what am I trying to say? This looks in order. Like, this feels like completion too. Like, look at all these, I got my ducks in a row. Like, even my creations are sprouting flowers, right? Even my creations are fertile. My creations are creating other things. And this is sort of satisfaction with the Nine of Cups, right? There is this satisfaction. You did that, okay? I'm here to tell you, you did that. You did that. I know it's a little sparse right now. I know it went a little echo silent, right? But that's what happens. I had like 3 viral videos last year, and then now I barely get like 1,000 views on my videos right now. But I'm like, I'm still gonna keep creating. I'm not creating at the same tempo that I used to, but it's cool. Like, we're good. What else did I say? Persist, reevaluate, execute, and play. Persist. And that came up because these two cards came up together. So the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords don't care about the noise, the algorithm. Please. The Queen of Swords doesn't care. I love her. Oh, look at, like, hold on. I know my light's going down because the sun went down. Look at her. Hair blowing. Yes, Queen. With the bowl by her side. Persist. Persist. Queen of Swords energy, right? This is who you are, okay? Rise and fall, come as it may. Persist, reevaluate, execute, and play, okay? And I just said play because that's one of my rules, is that I play. Whatever, if it failed, we're just playing. I was playing, it don't matter. Don't allow a viral moment or lack of views determine your enthusiasm or confidence in your work, all right? Temper your ego is what I wrote down. Temper your ego. And this came from that card where he might be a little bit smug about what he's done. That could happen. So just beware, 2023. He might get a little smug about what he's prepared, about what he's done. And as you should be, flex, whatever. But temper your ego and seek wise counsel. That's the Queen of Wands is always wise counsel for me. Right? She's that sort of analytical eye. So seek wise counsel and receive the wise counsel. Okay? No, just seek it out. Take it. Take the advice. Let me move my camera over a little bit. And then the question, all right, let me just move you guys over so you can get some light from a little bit of light. The question that I had here for your creations this year. Okay. But we are victorious. All in all, victorious. We're going to have some rise and falls, but that's just creativity, right? I shared that Prince video that the success is when the music is created. The success is when you put down, when it goes from here to tangibly outside in the world. That's the success. What everybody else got to say about it, not your business. I was telling my cousin, because he's like, I think I want to do like a one-man play. I'm like, do it. He's like, and not for money or anything. I'm like, yeah, just because you want to. I'm like, that's why I'm writing this book. I'm not writing this book for anybody else. I'm like, what's going to happen to these characters? And I find myself like really excited, like, what am I going to do with them? Wait, what if they end up like this? Right? You're doing it for yourself first. Let those first 3 drafts pour out of you. Don't get in the way. I shared it. I'll share it today too. Tatiana, she plays She-Hulk. She's from Orphan Black Gang. She said, it's not my job to judge it. That's not your job. Your job is the creative. Your job is being the vessel. Your job is being the vessel, okay? Let the creativity come through you. She's like, I can say a line and be like, oh, this is dumb. She's like, but I don't stop it. I don't not say the line. I don't go on set and be like, this just doesn't feel right. I feel stupid. This costume is ugly. I feel inauthentic. Keep playing at it until it feels real. Just because, like, and sometimes we can get confused because we're like, sometimes we create and we're like, this is hot. This is it. And we want that feeling every time. And that doesn't happen every time. Some days I'll have times where I write and I'm like, I say, I don't think that's good. I'm probably going to have to delete all of that. That's okay. That's okay. And then there's other days where I'm like, I'll write something and then I'm like, I can't wait to get back to this. Right? There's days when I write and I'm like, I'm probably going to get rid of it. And then there's days I write when I'm like, I can't wait. Yeah, it's not my job to judge it. That was Tatiana. I can't remember her last name, but I'll share the clip in my stories after this. Now, the question for this card. Oh, not a question, a mantra first. This is super good. And I got this from a book called Clear Your Shit. Thank you, Natalie, my girl. Told me about this book. It's called Clear Your Shit. I'll read it so y'all don't have to. Okay, it's not great, but this is the one thing that I got from it. I'm okay if this is a success. I'm okay if this is a success. And I'm okay if this is not a success. That's what this is. I'm okay if I arrive and I'm welcomed and I'm welcomed with open arms. And I'm okay if there's radio silence. I'm okay if this is a success. I'm okay if this is not a success. Can you say that about what you're creating honestly? Keep saying it, because this isn't something you say once, okay? Can you say that? And when you can say that and it feels true, and you say that and you're like, I believe it. I believe that I'll be okay if this is a success. I believe, say it until you believe it, until it resonates, right? Until you find resonance, until you feel it in your soul, at the bottom of your feet, the lightness in your body. Can you say that about what you're creating? And then you'll be good. So that's what I got from Clear Your Shit. That's literally the name of the book. Can't remember the author. But it's like, that's how you clear it. That's one of the verbally, they have other like somatic ways that you can clear your blockages. And this is one of them. You clear it by being okay with both. I'm okay if this happens, and I'm okay if this happens. All right. And then the question that I have for this card, are you willing to be flexible? And that's sort of the same thing. Are you willing to be okay with both of these things? Are you willing to be flexible? Because it's not always going to go your way. All right. Last but not least, does anybody want a card pulled? That's your 2023 reading. Guess I should end it. What else did I have on my heart? I think that's it. Yeah, and honestly, this world card, this whole like inadequacy, this shame, this inability to see your place in the world, this might just be happening for this full moon, right? Because we have a full moon happening this Friday. I'll look into it again in a couple of weeks and see what it says. If it's similar energy, then it probably is just energy for the first like 6 months of this year. But yeah, this is definitely the first 6 months of 2023. 7 of Swords. Be careful with your money. Be resourceful. Don't leave money on the table, but also have discernment if you feel like something is not as it should be. Family, Sun card. New value systems, new love ethics, bell hooks in the family, right? Creating new love ethics or some crazy fertility for some of you. So, okay, if you don't want no babies, wrap it up. Okay? Check the Clue app. Spiritually, again, reverse world, moon card. Knowing your place in this world, not being warped by illusions by somebody else who told you you're not good enough, who told you you weren't good enough. Let's resolve that. And then 6 of Swords, being okay with the rise and fall of your creative energy this year. I'm okay if it's a success. I'm okay if it's not a success. All right. All right, Tootsie Roll 95. I know we've spoken before. It's been too long, so I can't remember your name. Please, like, tell me, or you don't have to tell me your name right now. You can just tell me later in the in the DM. All right. Card for Tootsie Roll 95. Spirit, what do you most need her to hear right here and right now? What do you need her to hear right here and right now? Thank you, Spirit. All right. Feel really good. All right, 7 of Cups. Tootsie Roll 95. Now, because there's no person in this card, it's more of about ideas, imagination, thoughts. And because it's cups, emotions as well. At the bottom of the deck, we've got 9 of Pentacles. Okay. All right. So right now, right here and right now, what I'm hearing is like spend time with your imagination. Like, yeah, I'm like, there's something there. There's something there. Some esotericness, some channeling is definitely going to happen. I would say even like run a bath or do like a little small foot bath. Make it smell good. Yeah, 4 of Swords just popped out, which is all about rest. Yes. Yeah, you might be traveling down memory lane a little bit. So actually, this is perfect. I'm going to give you a ritual to do. So your ritual is going to be about trying to tap into whatever this is. I feel like Spirit wants to give you like an idea, or they need you to make peace with an old memory or an old relationship, or just a relationship that was sort of not the best in the past. Because you got the 9 of Pentacles, and she's very, she's successful, but she's also a little bit of a homebody. So I want you to spend time one day this week, either in the shower, in the bath, with a foot bath, and with a notebook. I'm somebody, I don't tell the future. I put you in a place. I'm just guiding you to your own intuition and your own relationship with Spirit. And so Spirit's won't tell you what they need to tell you. Especially with this coming in. It just feels very, dreamy, and now the right side of my head is kind of hurting. Like, I feel like you've almost been like, somebody been at your head a little bit. I feel like Spirit been at your head a little bit about this. So spend some time, take some time. Yeah, Spirit been on your head about this. And know that we got the turtle here. I don't know if you're having like housing security issues, but Spirit wants to let you know that like you're safe. Like you have a home, you have support, there's mutual aid of some sort. And also just like the turtle, right, lives inside its own home. And so I always like that when that shows up, finding the home within yourself. Yeah. And Spirit's gonna basically tell you, like Spirit almost wants you to like we need a filing cabinet. Like she needs to get through this. That's exactly what it is. Your mind is like like, you know how you go through your closet and you're like looking at old pictures like, don't need that. What's that? Don't need that. That's mail from 5 years ago. Spirit wants to do that with you with your head, the stuff you're carrying up here. Okay? Is that good? That's perfect. Yeah. It's like a filing cabinet up there, girl. And Spirit's like, hold on, we need her to empty the trash. We need her to empty the trash, purge the home. All right, and then I think I saw who was next. Heaven and Earth said they have their Saturn return this year. Can you pull a card to see what I can expect? Thank you. I love your work. Thank you so much. That is most welcomed. Spirit, Heaven, Earth coming soon is having her Saturn return this year. Ooh, girl. I feel like, when do you finish that? I always forget, like, how long is it? I remember I thought it was like 1 year and somebody was like, no, girl. It's not just 1 year. I was like, oh. Ooh, that just popped out real slick like. Two of Pentacles. Ooh, and the Eight of Pentacles. Beautiful. All right, so Spirit says you can expect to be like juggling quite a bit. Hold on. Ooh, my God, fantastic. But I think you can handle it. Usually the Two of Pentacles can warn against juggling too much. Okay, it can warn against juggling too much, right? He's on a log, like you could the ground's right there. I don't know why you're trying to make it more difficult. So there might be an energy like, don't make things more difficult than they need to be. Like, find your footing and then juggle. I'm sure you can juggle. I bet you can. I don't know why you're doing it on one leg though. But I do feel like some restructuring of the home is going on with the Eight of Pentacles, right? We're protecting our assets, protecting that money, just like that Seven of Swords was talking about in the collective reading. Protecting your assets, making sure that they're safe and sound, even in the chaos of this rain and thunderstorm, okay? I do feel like things are going to be moving pretty swiftly for you. I don't know if you're a sun sign, but you got a lot of Wands energy that just came up too in the clarification. Again, making sure you have what am I trying to say? Some sort of like call, and then when you're juggling, like calling spirits, saying like call on support when you need to. Like you don't always need to do everything yourself. Like try and outsource. Thank you. Outsource where you can, because you are going to be juggling. You are going to be, your hands are going to be in a few baskets, not too many. You don't look clumsy. Okay. I just want to say that you don't look clumsy. So, but, and you might be saying to yourself, I got this, like I've done more. Yeah, but you're not the same person that used to do 5 things. Again, you can offset 2 of those things and just juggle the 3. Because we need you to keep this grounded energy. I don't need you to be juggling too much, because then you're looking up too much, right? I need you to be able to, with a calm, do all of this, not frantically do all that. Get rid of 2, So then you can calmly do the 3, if that makes sense. Getting a roommate, okay, beautiful. And right, the roommate is sort of the help as well, right? She's helping you. They're helping you divide the financial responsibilities, right? That is outsourcing. That is supporting yourself in a way as well. Yes, I'm from Chicago, so a lot of my community is still Chi-Town based. All right, heaven and earth. So you can beautifully juggle what you need to this year. But make sure ground yourself in ritual, and then ground yourself with community assistance. Okay, because you can do it all doesn't mean you have to. Yeah, definitely community. 4 of Wands came out for you. Okay, so beautiful. I love that. What's in there? Let me see who is next. All right, Sade, if you're still in here, but if not, like, I'm posting this anyway. I did not expect for this to be this long, but here we are. All right, Sade. Ooh. Ooh, my Wands. All right, so we got the Emperor. You know, that's my Aries. Right, Emperor energy. I'm so sorry, y'all. Hold on, let me see. The light is now over here because that's where I kind of want to move y'all so you can see. Is that better? Let me see. Probably not. Let's continue. Yeah, that is better. Emperor. Okay. All right, so we know this is Aries in the major arcana. And then at the bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. So for 2023, Sade, got Emperor. And I know you and your sister are already into so whatever the resonance is for you, first of all, take that. I love this. First of all, I love this deck again, Spellcasters Tarot. I love this fire in the background because it reminds me of this sort of the hard work that rulers, people in power, people with authority, the tough choices that they have to make. So there might be some tough choices you have to make this year. Right, and he's like, I feel like the story of this card is he's had to burn his crops. Some of them valuable, but there was like a mite's infestation. And so for the better good of his community, he said, burn it. But burn it. But the money, burn it. But you know what I'm saying? There's like, people are like trying to tell you, yeah, but this is connected to this. You don't want to lose that. Burn it. I said burn it. Right? And this fist, right? He's like, I said what I said. And then this Knight of Wands is beautiful, lighter, right? The lighter side of the fire energy, right? And this sort of the swiftness, right? The Knight of Wands is the swift messenger. He's Mercury energy, right? This sort of ease and eloquence of communication, the divine translator. And these two fire elements, like I feel like you're burning it so that you can get there even faster, right? So whether that be burning bridges, burning, I know my Reiki master, Aya from Haji Healing, she said she burned all of her notebooks. That hurts my heart. I could never. I'm not burning that. But she burned all of her books, her journals and stuff. And I'm like, right? And so, but it's going to help her move into something else that much more quickly. So you're burning something so that you arrive wherever you're going that much more swiftly and that much more lighter. Because the Knight of Wands is like very playful energy to me. He's like, he's sort of playing in the sky on his eagle, like where the Knight of Pentacles is like more serious. I feel like the Knight of Wands is just sort of like, I don't know, just a little bit more free, combing through the air, you know? Anything else, Spirit? Yeah. Okay. I like, y'all know I don't just be doing stuff. I was like, anything else? And I just flipped to the middle of the deck. Girl, burn it. And maybe this might take on different, this will take on different translations as the year goes on. But look at that, Judgment. Old self, Phoenix rising, hand of God over your life, right? And you might be moving in a certain way that other people can't understand. But do not contort yourself. Ashe? Do not contort yourself so that you can do something that looks recognizable to other people. You know why you're doing this. You know why you're making these choices. And the beauty, people ask me sometimes, like, oh, what if you made the wrong decision? Like, what if you went with your intuition or your gut and it doesn't end up the way that, you wanted? You fall in love and it ends. You move to the city and then you go broke. And I always say, but I listened to myself. That's the reward. Because had I listened to my mother and stayed in that city and something didn't go right, I'd be like, this is my mom's fault. But now the only person I hold responsible is me. And I'm okay with holding that responsibility. I'm good with that. Some of y'all can't sit with the responsibility of the choices that you made, but the highest version of yourself can. I'm ready to face, this is the Judgment card, by the way, sorry. I'm ready to face that judgment, right? I'm ready to look at myself in the mirror and be like, well, you said you got your ass over here on this flight and now you're broke. But I'm okay with that. I'm broke right now, but I'm okay with that. This is a choice I made to come on a one-way ticket to Germany with a part-time job. So can you look at yourself in the mirror after you burn whatever you need to burn bridges, burn old music, and sometimes the burning isn't like this is no longer existing, but burning like if this is the way you used to relate to somebody, burning that. Doesn't mean you don't have a relationship with them anymore, that you can't have a future relationship with them, but that the way that this is operating, that's done. The way that we talk to each other, that's done. It doesn't mean the person is done or gone, but the way that we do that, we're not doing that anymore. Ashe? Ashe. You got me. Yes. Yes. Facing that responsibility. All right. Who is next? Feel free to hit my tip jar. Oh no, I have to go up. Me too. Oh, thanks, Nicole, by the way. I'm just now saying it. Yes. Spellcasters Tarot deck, Shaylina. All right. I think that's it. Cool. I'm all caught up. Anybody else want a card pulled before I leave this joint and make myself a salad? I don't have Venmo. I only have a Cash App and Apple Pay. Just walking with the ancestors. Hey, girl. Yes, the OG deck, Shaylina. Okay. I just love the police. It's so romanticizing foreign places, but I just love those. You know what they remind me of? Jason Bourne. I'm obsessed with the Jason Bourne films. And like he obviously is like traveling everywhere as a spy, and he's like all over Europe. It's so silly. That's how much I watch that movie. I love Jason Bourne. All right, walking with the ancestors. Whatever this message is, Spirit wanted to ring it in. Okay, and okay, girl. All right. I feel like you already know what I'm about to say. Okay. Yeah. Can I pin a comment with my Cash App? I don't know. I haven't been on live in so long. Pin. All right. Hey, Prama. Thank you for asking that, Sade. All right, walking with the ancestors. Let's go. Okay. Ooh, I'm I'm not taking that because that was messy. That was messy. Okay, spirit guides, guardians, and protectors. Okay, I don't know. Somebody's silly ancestor this year. They're giving me like kind of the giggles. All right, 4 of Cups. Okay. Ooh. That's a lot of cards. Okay. Wow. Again, I mean, this is clearly just like a theme. All of us need to be sitting in ritual so that we can receive the messages that are meant for us. Okay. I'm going to clearly, and I was, I did a personal reading on myself, right? And I was like, like about my own practices and stuff. And Spirit told me that I might need to start teaching people like how to build rituals. And this is clearly what I'm about to say again, because you got the 4 of Cups. Okay, right? This is sitting in silence. And this, I like this 4 of Cups because it's not the one where he like has like there's like a cup coming that he's sort of ignoring, right? Usually his eyes are, this person's eyes are closed. He's having an internal experience and he has made the cups a part of the ritual. He doesn't not know that they're all there. He perfectly placed them around to create a ceremonial space. So this 4 of Cups is not aloof. This 4 of Cups figure is not dismissive and not seeing what's right in front of him. This 4 of Cups is in practice, has made the water a part of the ritual. And we've got the Magician. Amen. The Magician is always telling me he is incredibly resourceful. He has all of the wands, the fire, the water, and the air. He uses all of them because he's a resourceful, shamanic magician, right? We've got the snake shedding its skin at the bottom. One hand pointed at the ground, one hand pointed at the heavens. A conduit. Who's giving me the giggles? Okay, anyway, he is a conduit, right? And then what do we have following that? The Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Messages, okay? Messages. Okay? We're here, like, the messages are coming in. And that's why I'm telling you guys, we need to be practicing rituals, whatever it is. Say, and my practices and what I learned from the Ifa religion and in my Ile is this sort of the need for repetition. So it really starts to like boil and bubble up in you. I remember I went to this misa. They're called misas. And we kept saying this prayer over and over. And at one point I was like, I'm getting tired of this. Like, I just want to start the ceremony. But at the end, I felt all of this energy. It was amazing. Like, we were really like turning it up. And that's what you do with chants. That's what you do with repetition. That's why you need to keep doing the rituals. That's why you need to turn into that spiritual system, because that's what you're doing every time you go into ceremonies. You're turning up the calibration. Have turning up the volume so the messages can seep through. You're turning up the volume. You're turning up your own potency to be a conduit, because you have a ritual that helps you get there. And then eventually you just, your life, you'll just be, I mean, not channeling all the time, because I don't think that that's healthy, right? But it'll be something that you can more easily get into. But I love the idea of repetition, at least in the beginning as you're building this, because you're repetition in some way, shape, or form. Okay, I'm rambling. 4 of Cups. All right. So again, sitting in ritual, sitting in silence. Now I know Walking with the Ancestors, Sister Shaman also told us to keep our eyes open as well, not just keeping our eyes closed. So I want to invite you to keep that in practice as well. Breathing in, closing your eyes, breathing out, opening your eyes. But ritual does help us attune to our intuition so that we can see beyond what is visible. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but just keep doing your rituals, because you got this magician energy, which tells me that you're going to be supporting other people. Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of success coming from that. Again, as I said in the earlier reading, temper your ego when you're doing that. Like, yes, you are the divine channel and teacher, but always see yourself as the gracious student as well. Yeah, the crab on his dome. I love this Four of Cups. I love this deck. Again, Spellcaster's Tarot. It's amazing. I love it. I love how the wands and the swords are always in like some sort of action usually in this deck. All right, that's my tip jar. Cash App. I forgot to, actually, y'all know it's Cash App because it has the $sign up front. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get back on here eventually to help you guys build rituals for yourself. Did I want to say anything else? Okay, last thing, walking with the ancestors. These places that you're gonna go to, like, I feel like you're gonna have these sort of, it's kind of redundant. I hate cliches, but they're cliches for a reason. I feel like you're gonna be taken out of your body, like having an outside body experience. Like, I feel like these two nights, because they're both so like look at, I mean, this swords, he's like going to the fight, but I feel like there's like these two very almost like the Chariot is the energy is giving me, but like fast. Like, we really got somewhere to go. We really got somewhere to take you. Like, I feel like there are these two horses that are just like shoop, trying to sling you in, because they're both facing in the same direction, right? So they're trying to take you somewhere. That's exciting. Please tell me where it is when you find out. Please share with us. And actually, that might be exactly right. They might be taking you somewhere so that you can filter the information, and then bring the elixir back to us and share with us what you saw. Share with us what they told you. Share with us the better way to do it. Okay? Y'all better see what Walking with the Ancestors is about to find out this year. I'm excited. All right. You're so welcome. Thank you all who joined the live. This was longer than I anticipated, but I did share the 2023 energetic reading for us all. Y'all can watch that back. I'm also going to put this on YouTube. That's it. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Love you.